More than 50 countries have had women as their top leaders in the past half century. And as we know, the United States is not one of them.
Yeah, so what will it take for women to finally break through the glass ceiling and into the White House? That is the main question in Electable, a new book by NBC's very own Capitol Hill correspondent, our very good friend, Ali Vitali.
And Ali joins us now to talk about her new book, which is out today. Ali, good morning. Congratulations. We are so excited for you. I mean, we just want to talk about what you have learned. I bet you could fill a whole book with what you've learned. Why hasn't the U.S. elected a female president?
Yeah, look, I mean, Joe, I wish I could tell you that the simple answer is misogyny, but this would be a much shorter book if that were the only answer to this question. And so what my goal was here is to put this through the lens of the 2020 Democratic primary, where we had more women run in that field than ever before, 6 of them running there. And to filter those moments that I reported on and lived in real time through a gender lens that we don't often get to apply in real time as we're reporting for platforms like this one. What my goal was then in doing that was to sort of match the feelings with facts, the idea that we feel like it's different for women candidates, that the playing field is unequal. But the facts and the data and the research that I found, as well as the interviews that I got to do with experts, operatives, but also the candidates themselves in many cases, all of it bears out that there are inequities to this system. And part of it is just calling it out, drawing attention to it, and that can disrupt the narrative in real time, which is frankly my hope as we go into a midterm election cycle and then another presidential cycle, where I do hope and think we're going to see female candidates running.
Ali, you spent, as you just said, a lot of time with women who ran to be the president in 2020. I mean, that was your life. We all saw you. Our viewers here on this show saw that. What did they tell you about their own campaigns and the challenges women face when running for any leadership position in general?
Look, I was stunned by the ways that these conversations were happening as we were out on the campaign trail, and then they were continuing after as I was writing the book. I was lucky enough that people like Senators Klobuchar and Warren and Gillibrand gave me their time and their candor, and Secretary Clinton as well, in talking about what it means to be a candidate in this environment where you're vying for a job that no woman has ever done before. Now what we end up with is with Kamala Harris in the vice presidency, a woman who's been elevated to the top position, closer than ever to the Oval Office, but still not elected to that space. And that's something that we toy with a lot in the book, this idea that we are making progress, but that we are not electing women outright for this job, at least not yet. And that's something that in my conversations with Warren and Klobuchar and Clinton, they all say they think we are going to get there. But in 2020, the key theme, as I talked to voters, and you guys found this too, is that they wanted to be risk averse. For Democrats especially, the top goal was just, can someone beat Donald Trump? Because Hillary Clinton had lost to Trump, not by the popular vote metric, but by the metric by which we actually elect presidents in this country, there was such a hangover effect that it looked, even though men have lost to men for decades and decades and decades, one woman losing once was enough to sort of psych out the electorate. And it's something that all of the women of 2020 then had to contend with.
Let's talk about how we get there. Based on what you've learned, what do you think it's going to take for the U.S. to finally elect a female president?
Just doing it. And I know that that sounds trivial and simple, but really, women are electable if you elect them. And I think that's the key part of this book, the idea that I flesh out in here, that there were so many voters who I talked to over the course of the campaign trail, and then studies and research being done on top of that, where candidates would lay out who their magic wand candidate was, the person who, if they had all the power in the world, that's who they would elect as their nominee in the 2020 Democratic primary. And in one poll that was done in real time during the campaign, Elizabeth Warren was the so-called magic wand candidate. But when voters in that same poll voted in the horse race, they picked Joe Biden. And when they were asked what the magic wand candidate could do to become the horse race candidate, they said that it was a function of gender. This is something that hung over the entire field and something that Senator Warren talked with me about as we were flying from Iowa to New Hampshire on the night of that crazy Iowa caucus that really wasn't a very sustainable caucus at all. She said to me that she talks to voters And she said, everyone says to me, I would vote for you if you had a penis. And in other conversations that I had with candidates from 2020, the general consensus was because of how skittish the electorate was, because of how risk averse they were, they wanted someone who, frankly, was comfortable, was safe, was Joe Biden, both politically because he's a moderate, but also because he looks like almost everyone else who has had the job of president before. Those are just terms you couldn't apply to a female candidate, at least not yet.
So true. Ali, also quickly, before we let you go, I just want to know, how'd you do it? What was this like for you? I mean, obviously, it's not like you were taking time off or anything. We see you on our TVs almost every day. How'd you write a long book during that time?
I mean, look, the real answer to that question is that during those days of Build Back Better on the Hill in the fall and the winter, I was going home every night after leaving the Hill at 10 o'clock and then going home to write for 3 or 4 hours, just trying to pour all of this in. But look, truly the only way that I was able to get through that is, A, this is a real passion for me. This project, this goal of electing women to office, I think that reflective governance is a good aspiration for this country that will benefit more people. But also, you know, I love politics. I love my job. And frankly, I'm very lucky and grateful to have great friends and colleagues like you guys, but also my friends and colleagues outside of this NBC home who picked me up, they encouraged me, and I really wouldn't have been able to do it without any of that.
Well, you are very good at your
coffee.
job, and we are all lucky to get this book. Also, I like how we're both in Electable red today, Ali.
I know, very on theme.
Ali's book, Electable, is out now today in stores and online. Ali, thank you so much, and congratulations. So
Thanks,
exciting.
guys.
We've been
really
waiting a while for
appreciate it.
this.
Congratulations,
Thank you.
Ali.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.